One beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that boat could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded like dirt in the clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over is now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning, good morning. How you doing, Robertson County? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LaVern, and this is one street over. I hope you're just doing fabulous as we head into the last few days of school here in the county. Mayor Vogle is here. He had to take a phone call. He stepped out for just a second, so we'll get with the mayor here in just a second. They had the county commissioner meeting last night and still taking care of some business this morning. But we'll visit with him and get the lowdown on the county commissioner meeting, just kind of to unpack it for you. Here's the way the schools, if you're in high school, guys, here's how it works. And we just want to kind of clarify this for everybody. Today is a testing day for finals for third and fourth block. We're on the block system here in the county. So our third and fourth block classes will take their final today, and then you're done with that class as long as you don't have any makeup work. Then tomorrow morning, first and second block will take their finals. And then if you, in our school, now I think every school has, their own way to do it, but at Greenbrier, with a parent or guardian permission slip, then you can leave after second block tomorrow. But you got to drop off your computers and your chargers and all of that so they can get those ready for next year. The seniors, they get to keep those after the graduation. And just congratulations to, I think all of our graduations are done now in Robertson County. We had Greenbriers last night. It was absolutely wonderful. It was a little warm, but just perfect. And just so proud of our graduates. I was so excited to see those kids walk out there and get their diplomas. And I'm going to miss all those kids that I got to know really well over the last couple of years. Man, it's going to be weird not having them in the building. That's the hardest part of being a teacher, is having to say bye to these kiddos. But they promised to come visit and to come to games and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, hopefully we'll see them around town. Just wish them well. Praying for them all. And thank you for joining us this morning. And thank you, Mayor Vogle, for joining us. I didn't completely unpack. So tomorrow is a half day if you bring a note for high school. Thursday is a makeup day. If you have something, we're going to get the grades done and everything tomorrow. But if you have something you miss and you absolutely have to make up, you can possibly do it tomorrow afternoon or Thursday. And then Friday, you just pick up report cards, and then we're done for the year, and then we'll come back in the fall, and woohoo! I'm ready for it, Mayor. What are you doing? You're just busy this morning.
Paperwork.
My goodness. You're just busy. Come on in here and taking phone calls and taking care of business. And, man, it's just, I had a super late night myself coming in from graduation, and I'm worn out, man. I don't know. Maybe we all just need to take a nap, Mayor.
Well, I tell you what, it started Thursday night at Springfield's graduation, and of course we've had budget meetings going on. We're in the middle of the budgets.
Yeah, fun. Favorite time of
I've
the
been
year.
on the phone this morning since 6:00. It don't never stop. Robson County wakes up early.
Yes.
It wakes up early, and we all ripping and running. Because just let me say that I think, well, all the seniors are great regardless of what year, but it seemed like this year, I think everybody was more, we're getting away from the COVID years and stuff like that, and people are more happy.
Yeah.
We wished we could have done more of them outside.
Yeah.
That would have been nicer, but because in the gym it's so loud.
Yes.
It's pretty loud, but
and crowded.
But we got them graduated.
I know they're all done and ready to go, and now we have my homeroom class, my cat time. They are now rising seniors. They're the oldest kids on campus now, and I mean it's just a different dynamic. So it's going to be fun. I told them, I said, we're bringing them out we're told the kids they can come out to the house and kind of celebrate Friday. And it was so funny because I invited my little homeroom class. I told them, I said, you can bring your friends. Just let me know if you're going to bring 20 people. Because I told them I'd feed them hot dogs. And so my husband's at Springfield yesterday. And some kid came, we hear there's a party at your house Friday.
Well,
we're liable to have a pile of kids in there Friday, but that's wonderful. Just to make sure I get enough hot dogs.
I don't think folks realize how much scholarship money goes to these seniors.
Oh, I know it. I think
they announced at Springfield over $5 million in scholarships.
Amazing.
Joe Burns had 67 graduate, and they had like $1.4 million or $5 million
That's awesome.
in scholarships, and these kids are now fixing to go out and be a part of the working world representing Robson County.
Yeah, for sure. And we had, it's just wonderful. I'm so excited for those kids, and even the ones that were a little bit of a struggle getting to the finish line, but they made it. And just to see the excitement on their face, I had some that, last month they were going, I don't know, Miss Vivio, if I'm going to be able to get this credit and do this and all that, but they managed it, and I'm super excited for them and proud of them. And we have 4 and that got their associate's degree before they graduated from high school. Oh,
Ain't that pretty cool? That's 2 years, that they've already got behind them.
Oh, it's just so cool.
You got to be pretty smart at it.
Yeah, well, Mackenzie Wood is one that I'm super close to, and because she's been in my class to some degree the entire time I've been there, and she's already starting at Tech. She got her. She actually officially graduate. She was officially a graduate of Austin P last week. Got her diploma last night, and they gave them a certificate or something. Their diploma will come in the mail, I guess, from Austin P for their associates. And she yesterday became a student at Tech. So she's going to be a nurse or a nurse practitioner. And so super smart young lady, but we're super proud of all of them. It's just Mackenzie. I know her story, but it's just, we're so proud of them, but it's just so cool. And I got to say, I'm going to take a side turn here before I forget. I had told you about this. We did an interview with you last year. When I first started the audio video class, I wanted to do documentaries, and we're still working that way. I'm trying to facilitate how to have the kids do it to where we can get it done in a timely way. And so we started on this one called The Evolution of Drugs last year. Released it Friday. Finally, you're in it. And so I encourage you to go watch it because it's really good. And we talk a lot about recovery court and things like that in it because I had taken the kids to see. We ended up doing a remembrance ceremony at our school. And I went ahead and shared it on my timeline. So you can go to LaVern, you turn LaVern Vivio and click on that. Now you couldn't do it on your phone because you have some kind of barriers on your phone. Tell your wife to go pull it up on my Facebook page and she'll show it to you, but you're in there. And I think the kids did a great job. We share our remembrance ceremony at the end of it. And if you've ever been to recovery court and seen the remembrance ceremony where people are remembered that didn't make it, we did that within our school. And all the people on that screen have an association with people there at that school from, and I'm not going to give specifics, but it was powerful. It was powerful, but that is posted now and it's about 45 minutes. I encourage you to really watch the whole thing because we interview you. We hear from our vice principal, Staggs, who has a twin brother that is serving time in prison because of, getting addicted to opioids and things like that. And, he's very open and just shares his story. And I think it's such a powerful thing coming from somebody that's in leadership like him. And we interview Judge Perry. Who else? You, and let's see. I can't remember who else we interview.
Yeah, it's
there's one. And Ron Baptiste. Yeah. Ron Baptiste we interview.
I tell people, in fact, in today's me presenting the package last night, we're going to talk some about opioids.
Have them watch our little documentary.
Yeah. And then another thing, your class is something that wasn't offered back when I was in school.
Yeah.
People tell me, well, our population in schools is not growing. Why are we having to build so many schools? Well, we're offering so many different subjects in school now.
Yeah.
Who would have dreamed you'd had your class?
Oh, I know.
And then right next to your class that day, I walked over and they had a class where these kids was working with wood and doing about wind tunnels and stuff. And you got to have more classes.
The ag
area,
because that's all associated with FFA. And you talk about an amazing program. Wow.
It's
going there.
So much more stuff's been offered to these kids getting ready for the future that we're having. It's not just math and civics and English anymore. Yeah. It's a lot of other stuff.
Well, and it's mentorships. I mean, this is mentoring. This is giving kids. I got to tell you, Mayor, if I had known the opportunities that were out there for me, whenever I would have loved to have known the things that were possible, because I grew up in rural West Kentucky. And I just didn't have, I came out of school with the understanding that, well, I'll go to college and I'll probably marry somebody up at Freed Hardeman, come back and live on the farm and, teach school. And
sometimes don't work that way.
No, God had other plans. And it was honestly just a seed of a thought that was given to me by somebody that I knew from high school, a radio person in high school that said to me, "Oh, you sound good on the radio." I never even considered it. And that one little seed is what turned my whole, and we need to be mentoring the kids. That's the point.
Well, when I was at Joe Burns,
it's a good thing.
At their graduation, I wanted to stand up and tell them kids, gosh, I graduated 50 years ago. Anyway,
We're going down the rabbit hole.
I wanted to tell them that if I could be the mayor, they could be anything they wanted to be.
Yeah, amen.
I mean, who would have thought it 50 years ago?
Yeah.
So that anyway, let's get to last night. I do have a lot to share.
Let's go.
All right. Yesterday was a busy day. Right out of 4:30, we started with the judicial. We're looking at the courtroom system. We're getting another judge, and we're having a problem maybe getting everybody in court because we got a circuit court clerk works with so many different judges now, and then you got the grand jury, and it's getting everybody's scheduled to get into court and the lawyers and stuff, and we're trying to work through that. It may take some money to do it, but I told them, I said, we're building schools and stuff, and I'm going to get into our financing a little bit. We're in great financial shape because you're going to hear me talk about some things that we're fixing to do for the schools. But we started that at 4:30, and then right after that meeting, we had our county commissioners meet with zoning people from Nashville, planners and stuff, and to learn how we're going to try to handle the growth in a good way. Building 2,000 houses next to a county road, and that county road not being up to standards to handle that much traffic is bad planning. I mean, you've got to plan. If you're going to build that many houses, you got to have the roads up first. And we haven't been doing that. I was meeting in White House. They're building a lot of houses up there inside the city limits, but there's a county road right there that joins that property. And we had TDOT at a meeting, and so state senators was there. And we're just telling people that if you're going to build a lot of houses, if the county road's not up to that subject, then we need to plan better. We need to plan the road first and then build the houses.
Right.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. And that wasn't necessarily the case. So we're suffering up there around Highway 76.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need a red light, but TDOT told us at that meeting we're probably 5 years away from getting a red light up there.
That's crazy. It takes that long.
Yeah.
And that's a busy, dangerous area.
It is. But we built all the houses first before, and now they come down to the county and says it's your responsibility. but it's in these houses are inside the city limits. So we're fighting that battle constantly.
Right.
But I think we're learning from the White House situation that we're going to have to do the infrastructure before we do the houses, whether it's turning lanes being put in and caution lights, and TDOT has to be at the table. They need to tell us that we can't do nothing for you for 5 years. So that way we'd say, hey, maybe we need to put 500 houses in and then get a turning lane put in. But we do another 500. We're learning this, because of the growth that's happening in Robeson County.
Right.
Yeah, and with planners and stuff like that, they help us that. And for you high school kids out there, there's a serious need of planners. Everybody
To study.
Everybody everywhere cannot find a planner. Every county needs a planner. We cannot find them.
Okay.
GNRC is looking for 2 right now themselves. It's just a field that, as we grow, that somebody's going to have to get into.
Okay.
Yeah. And it pays good money.
Yeah, and
Real
so
good money.
I think it'd be fascinating too.
Yeah.
All these kids that are playing Minecraft, there you go. They need to be a city planner.
Well,
do you know what I'm talking about with Minecraft? They build cities.
Yep.
They build cities.
They
and
build
stuff.
the infrastructure, and
There you go.
You can't put a bunch of people in one neighborhood and then not have a way to get in and out of it.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, you got to have the water, the gas, and then you have to. The city will go to their mayor and say, "Hey, we got to have some more cops. We put all these houses there." It's a never-ending struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I tell people, a lot of times rooftops don't pay for themselves, and they don't. But if you're a city that wants Publix, if you want steakhouses, you got to have rooftops to get that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it all works hand in hand. But we, of course, I welcomed everybody last night, but in my communications, this week is EMS week.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you got rooftops, you got to have ambulances.
Yes, you
We
do.
finally got 2 of our new ambulances in. Been ordered over a year and a half. Yeah, and I've told y'all last month and the month before, an ambulance, stock it with people, put the medicines and equipment on it, $750,000 per ambulance.
That's insane.
It is.
That is crazy.
It is. And I'm going to get into a little more of that later on in our resolutions too. Of course, I got an overview of our history from the comptroller this year. And what it is, they look over our debt that we owe. They look over the cash we have on hands. And it says right here that we got 55% of our money put up in case, let's say the world went broke. We could still run the county for about 6 months.
Okay.
And we're at 55%, which is no concern, and the target is above 16, and average counties in Tennessee are 55%. So that's good to know. And also, 4% of our outstanding debt is no concern because we're below the target date of 8% of how much money we do have on fund balances to pay our bills. And I will get into a school situation that this is going to concern. So this right here shows that Robeson County financially is doing the job they're supposed to do. We are. We've got $22 million on hand, and that we could use cash if we had to have it, and that tells us that our annual expenses are $40,000, so we're over 6 months. So that's where we need to be. And this was a great report, and our guy that does our bonds and our financing that we work with, he come to me last night and said, y'all are fixing to do something tonight that is very rare. And I'll get to that when we get in our resolutions.
Okay.
All right.
Keep going.
Okay. We also, we're working, well, I just want to tell you, the rain we had, last week? The flooding, was it last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. Man, it's been raining all the time. After today, we're going to get 8 more days, y'all, so get ready. Yeah, I'm doom and gloom, I know. But the courthouse, all that upstairs around the clock, it's like a pond up there, and we've got C-posts for the rain to go out, but it rains so hard and so fast that it couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And some of it came down through the roof.
Oh, no.
So this morning, there'll be a dumpster in my parking space. We're having to tear out the carpet where it all got wet. That courtroom will be down 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because space is an issue already.
Well, You just mentioned something I'm going to talk about. We're moving all the pews out, tearing the carpet out.
Yeah.
Up in the ceiling, it peeled some on the wallpaper, and everybody wants to keep it historical looking.
Sure.
And so it's going to be down. But I'm moving out of the courthouse.
Are you? Where are you
Yes,
moving to?
I'm going toward the office building.
Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of like you being in the
Well,
courthouse,
it's always
though.
been a tradition.
Yeah.
But as the court system grows,
Yeah.
most of the mayors around Middle Tennessee now are not in the courthouse anymore.
Really? I always
Yeah.
kind of thought it was kind of cool, though, you being in the courthouse.
Yeah. They say they need my office for space
Yeah.
to help out because the court system is growing. So
Where are you moving to?
I'm moving over to the Doctor's Plaza that we're remodeling
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll
Are
be-
you talking about that building?
right across the street from the office building.
Okay. Are you talking? You're not talking about the new one that's being built there, because there's a new building being built.
Well, it's
there.
an old Doctor's Plaza that Dr. Crumpton built when they was first
Yeah.
moved in. We're having to remodel it.
Oh, so it's not a completely new construction. Is that
No.
the same place where the veterans are going? Are you going to be in the
Veterans
same
will be
office?
there too.
Okay, so you're in
Right.
that same space.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's real
Yeah,
convenient.
on the first floor at the office building, County Court Clerk Angie Groves is running out of space.
Yeah.
I mean, they're standing.
yeah.
They're standing out in the hall.
Yeah.
The trustee has got a new employee. She hasn't had an added employee in 10 years. We got elections down there, and we're running out of space down there.
Right, right.
So I gave an office to Veteran Services when they left Greenbrier.
Right.
We're moving them across the street with me.
Same place with you.
And Angie Groves is planning on putting a person over there to help with the license plates. Because
Okay.
if you go get a passport, you're standing out in the hall to get your picture took.
Well, and I'll tell you, I had no idea. Last time I went in there, my husband just got his passport renewed. And so we were in there, and they've completely reconfigured it. Because it used to be, if I wanted to pay, like I have some little businesses, I have my little publishing
Business
company.
license.
Yeah, and I mean they're just kind of they're just little sole proprietorship stuff, and so where I do my media work through and all that. So I have to go in there and pay my taxes. It used to be I would just go over there to the left and do that, and that was where you did passports. Now all of them take care of it.
Yeah.
You can go up to any. It's not just because I always was familiar with, like, you'd walk in and you'd do your tags and those types of things, but everything else was to the left. Well, now they can all do it. And that's cool. But I went in there the other day and I cut line. I didn't realize, because I just walked over to the left. And I'm like, no, get back over there. I was like, oh, okay. But it's cool that they can all take care of passports. They can all do business licenses and all of that now. And so that's good.
Yeah,
That was
it's
new to me. I hadn't been in there since they've done that.
Of course, you noticed. Did you see we had an officer in the building?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
We had some concerns. Some people get upset and
Over what?
well, they just do. Every department head now has a button they can push
Oh,
if they think that something's getting out of hand. Because one night in the parking lot, I had to go stop something and call the law to come out there at the parking lot. So
people.
we worry about
Behave yourself.
safety for our employees.
I tell you.
So anyway,
Heads.
moving veterans over there, and I'm going over there. I think people probably going. If you're into history, you're going to say, the mayor's always been in the courthouse, but it's not like that nowadays.
Yeah, I get it,
Space
though.
is limited, and to save the taxpayers' money, I'm giving up my office and I'm going over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's going. That'll help out a little bit with the court system, I hope. Okay, I think that's it on the public comments. But I do want to tell people, I want to thank you for being patient. We paved the road down towards solid waste last week, and of course, we was trying to dodge the weather.
Yeah.
It was raining and stuff, and we had to shut down for one day and let them pave by solid waste from the 431 side. And, of course, I had to work with the city on trash and stuff, them coming in and out. And then we had some repairs inside the solid waste facility. If you know the tonnage we get every day, we're talking, $250,000 worth of trash coming in and out of there having to be hauled. That building takes a beating.
Yeah.
You got big old loaders back there working. So while we was down, we tried to fix those repairs too. But we're back up and running. Got a new road down through there at solid waste. That doesn't mean you can drive 55 just because it's pretty new, but it's the trucks, they wear and tear on the roads and stuff. It's just something had to be done, but we got past it. I don't think I had but one complaint.
Well, good deal.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good. So I just wanted to report that right quick. we had our elections appointments, the equalization board. If you don't know what that is, if you feel like your taxes are higher than they should be, or maybe when they done the reappraisal, when the state does a reappraisal, you said, how come my property went up so high on reappraisal? That don't mean your taxes doubled, but your reappraisal did. Then you can go in front of the equalization board and they will look at your property. If somebody across the road has got a level, beautiful farm, and on your side of the road, you got a bluff, and they taxed you as high as they did that nice level land, you might need to go to the equalization board.
I hadn't thought about that because half of our land is a bluff that you can't farm.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if that is something they took into consideration.
They try to, yes. It's
I need to make sure probably because half of our land it's just beautiful. I bought it for the view, honestly.
Well, you pay for that too.
Yeah, but
and a lot of people like to hunt.
Yeah.
In some places,
but you certainly can't farm. It is not something you can. There's probably only. Because we'd have to do septic, I don't know that we could build more than a couple of houses right there next to me on the land that we have. Now, our children would be the only ones we would allow to build, but...
Your appraisal is based on the price of the land around you.
Okay.
But that don't mean maybe the table's the same.
Okay,
so maybe you're not eating that same smorgasbord. But anyway, the equalization board is picked by pretty well the tax assessor, and we elected them last night. And then the library board. We always, the city, we split with the city on who's on the library board, and we elected them last night. And if I can get through all my paperwork.
You got a pile of papers.
Man,
that's why I'm just being quiet and letting you run.
Man, we had a pile of stuff last night to do. Oh. I don't know, we had more resolutions we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
But the equalization board is a good thing. They meet at certain times, mostly after reappraisals, and they stay busy too. They hear a lot of stuff. And they'll try to help you.
Yeah.
They're not there to hurt you. We did our public hearing last night, had two resolutions. One was in District 4. We went from Ag 2 to RP 80. Ag 2 is agriculture, of course. And if you want to build a house, RP 80 is the biggest lot you can put a house on without being ag. How big is that? Well, it's 80,000 square foot lot.
Okay.
So if you got R20, which is 20,000 square foot, which you do not see unless there's sewer, because they're right on top of each other. Then you got R30, R40, and then it jumps all the way to R80. R80 is that's a pretty good size. That's way over an acre.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had one of that, and it passed, and then we had a R40 that went to commercial, and what it was is on 431. A corner lot that was there's commercial all around it. So it wasn't like it was spot zoned. And I don't know they're going to put up a warehouse or something, but it's on 431, which 431 is growing. But a lot of 431's in Coopertown. Yeah, there's not a whole lot, between Springfield and Coopertown, there's not a whole lot of 431 left in the county, I don't imagine. So, but it's growing out that way, and that passed too. That's the only two we've had. I've noticed a real slowdown.
Oh, absolutely.
A real slowdown. Yeah. Now, they tell me houses in Nashville are going higher and higher, and that people are beginning to move out.
They don't have any choice but to move out. It's like some of our people that, I was talking with, we were talking cost of living the other day here in Robertson County. Some people are being forced to cross the state line up into Kentucky because the cost of living and the housing prices have gotten so high in Robertson County.
Yeah. Well, it's
but it's because we are a bedroom community to Nashville.
That's what we are, folks.
You better believe it. And it's just getting bigger all the time. So
that's what we are. We are a bedroom community. I was interested last week. I went to the mayor's caucus over at Nashville, and it concerned me that the Nashville mayor's come up with a very aggressive transit plan. Very aggressive. It's based on 10 years. And he's going to raise the sales tax a half a cent, just a half a cent. And that is very controversial with your citizens. But the way he's selling this is 60% of the sales tax that Davidson County collects comes from out-of-county folks. And that concerns me. As a county that joins Davidson County, I want our sales tax dollars to stay in the county.
It's another incentive to buy local, guys.
Buy local, yes.
Yep.
If he can do what he's got planned using our money, our sales tax money that's going over there, is tells me a whole lot. That's the reason I'm real big on tourism, and I'm real big on our industrial board doing their part to get jobs here at home. The industrial board has bought a piece of property over on the interstate in Portland that the governor asked us to help out because he's got people wanting to come to Middle Tennessee to offer jobs. And our industrial board has stepped up and bought a high piece of property, but I'm hoping when we get done, we're going to be able to sell it for a profit for Robeson County. And tourism is so important, the dollars it brings in. That's what the industrial board runs off of, the motel tax.
And just a side note, Ryan Martin will be in here tomorrow at 7:30 talking about the mayor and alderman meeting here in Springfield because there's a big tourism push there this summer with just the things. Of course, they've been doing the Freedom Fest. That's a big, that's a big tourist draw. They've also got the Dark Fire Festival.
Right.
Ace. Fire Cured Festival's coming up on the weekend, the 23rd and 24th of August. And they're really hoping that's going to build into something, help us build these bluegrass things. We had the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival last weekend. Those things, we had a good attendance, but it could be so much better. We need to be having competitions for these kiddos. We had a competition on Friday night, and we need to grow that because if they will come to that stuff. They will bring their kids and compete in this stuff, but we got to publicize it. We got to let it be known. And we just got to keep spreading the word about what's happening here in Robeson County. So, come on, y'all! It helps us all. Franklin ain't got nothing on us, y'all.
Well, that's how important your chambers are too.
Yeah.
Ace works for tourism in Springfield City, and she does a great job. She's a fire plug. Let me tell you,
yes, she is.
And there are chambers that help businesses grow. There's a lot of people that get on the chamber website when they get ready to maybe shop or do a plumber, electrician,
yes,
real estate agents, or insurance agents. It's a big deal. So our chambers are helping us out a lot to try to keep the dollars here in Robeson County. There's no need a half cents don't sound like a lot, but when you add as much money spent in Nashville, that's a lot of money. That's millions. That's millions. Yeah,
very fast.
Okay, our first resolution come from the schools. The schools took $5.5 million out of their fund balance, which they've got an excellent fund balance. We've been good to the schools, giving them their part of the sales tax, and that's where sales tax goes. And they have done Dr. Weeks, he's doing a great job too. First year, got through graduation. But last night they moved $5.5 million for renovations at the academy over here, Innovation Academy. There's a lot of work to be done. That school's been there a long time.
Yeah.
It's an old building. Of course, as them classes grow, 60% of the kids in that academy come from Springfield, and the other 40% are coming out of the county. And as they make room in the building, we have to move kids out to other schools, and it's a big ordeal. And we're having to add parking. A lot of people was parking. They's meeting their kids at the library, and that was causing a traffic problem up there. So we've had to go in and add parking. We're going inside the school and doing some work. It's just because I'm going to tell you, kids are rough on schools too.
Yes, they are.
They are. They're rough on schools.
Yeah,
if they're rough at your house, they're rough on schools,
yeah.
and we have to do a lot of work to keep them like we want them to be for the next classes coming up. But that was the good. They took $5.5 million out of their account instead of went to the taxpayers and the county commission. But I will tell a little more further on down the line about how that went. I keep laying stuff around. I'm lost here. We got so
Let
much.
me do a break and you get organized. You do that.
I got papers all over his desk.
He's got stuff everywhere. I've never seen such. This is hysterical. But anyway, he's a busy guy. And we're talking with Mayor Billy Vogle. He is our county mayor. And I put up the evolution of drugs is if it's on my personal Facebook page, and you can watch it. Mayor's on there, and it's an interview we did. It's just talking about, making a difference and helping people that are dealing with addiction. So I encourage you to watch that. My kiddos did that. I'm very proud of them there at Greenbrier High School. And so now there's a lot of silliness we do too, but that was a heavy subject, and they did an excellent job. But let's pause and let's take a moment to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. My oldest sponsor. I mean, I've had them. They've been on with us forever. Got to hang out with them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival this past weekend. It's always fun. A lot of people talking to them about real estate and the things that they need to know. People want to talk to Barry because of the marketing background that he has and the uniqueness that brings to the table. If you're trying to sell property and it's not moving, it may be you need a marketer. Well, you've got one if you go and talk to Barry Richards with Exit Prime Realty. He has a brokerage office here on the downtown square. His bride, Rebecca, she has her realty office, her agency office out in White House. And he always reminds me, we're not a team. We work separately. We have separate offices, but then they are combined under the Exit Prime Realty, which is still part of the Exit team, the Exit Garden Gate team. It's just a new branch in the tree. So just all kinds of things. They can mentor you if you want to be a realtor. They've been at it a long time. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. They're Cross-Planians. They've been there for nearly 30 years now. So they're Robertson Countyans, one of us. So they specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because they're from Kentucky. So just a lot of things that they bring to the table to help you out. If you want to connect with them, you can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or robertsoncounty.com, or you can just look them up. Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, Barry Richards, Exit Prime Realty, or you can call Rebecca, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Always let my sponsors know that Turn sent you. And we are continuing our conversation with our Robertson County Mayor, Mayor Billy Vogle. So what else do you have for us, sir?
Okay. Last night, the second resolution. We had moved $12,000 out of our maintenance budget and gave it to the sheriff. The sheriff is over all the security at the courthouses. In fact, he's really over who sits where and what goes on. I mean, he's over security. We had moved $12,000 over because we needed 3 new locks on the main courthouse doors. And the locks is ones you take those like a credit card and you slide through there.
Thingies,
yeah, and for security. Well, one day our maintenance guy was going through some storage stuff, and he found 3 locks that was there from the time they remodeled the courthouse, 19 years ago. Yeah, so we was able, our Chet Beggar's our tech guy, which does a great job, and you wouldn't believe how busy he is with the computers in all the offices now, constantly. I can imagine. And with the security on the computers. Mm-hmm. But he had a vendor that put those locks in for nothing. And we saved $12,000 and put it back in our maintenance account.
Oh, that's awesome!
And the net shows.
Well, you like hearing stories about that. Well, that you're not just we just might as well spend it.
Well, here it is.
I love hearing.
We're talking about $12,000 that, even though it was going toward 3 locks, it went through the county commission.
Yeah.
It didn't just get done and nobody knows about it. It went through the county commission, so we put the money back where we got it, and
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. The next resolution we had was a capital projects fund. And this is going to be very expensive. We have been putting money back every year for maintenance.
Right.
And we try to do it in case the department head maybe has something they need. I hate to use the word wish list, but,
right.
But we try to prepare for the future. But so far with all the leaks and the roofs and stuff, we're using this money. And we had to move money out of an account on our projects fund. The building on the corner where the UT Extension office is at, downstairs is a United Way. Mm-hmm. That roof has been leaking. Mm-hmm. And the windows, water's blowing in, and we're spending some money redoing that building. I'm going to tell you, these buildings aren't cheap.
No.
They're not cheap.
We were roofing my husband he owned and operated a commercial roofing company for many years, and that's been since 2009. I can't imagine the cost now that goes into these flat surface roofs, especially. It's expensive.
Hey, well.
It's expensive keeping water out of your building, y'all. My goodness.
Vern, I can tell you how expensive this one project is. It's $205,000. Mm-hmm. We're $80,000.
Yeah.
$80,000 putting in the roof.
Yep.
Another $180,000 for the plaster repairs and all the windows are needed.
Outrageously expensive. People had no idea what the cost of roofing is until they've dealt with it.
But this is money.
expensive.
This is money that we are not the taxpayers. We got some of the ARCA money we saved, and this is not something that we're going to raise your taxes next year to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's took care of. But that project's fixing to go on. But before we did it, we had to get bids out. Had to have anything over a certain amount of money, you automatically got to have an architect. That's just the way it is. And that's what it come to. And we voted last night to fix that building up, and it ought to be good for years and years, years and years. So that happened last night. Next resolution, man, we had a bunch of them. Bobby Couch was busy last night.
You were busy last night. My goodness.
The county clerk had a resolution for $36,000 to buy postage stamps. Okay, now when you asked her to mail you your license plates, she's going to send you with an envelope, I guess with a stamp on it, and that is putting your fees on them license plates. That $36,000 is not being charged to the taxpayers. It's being charged to the ones that asked where they can mail in their money and get their tags.
Okay, but she has to have the stamps.
She has to have the stamps to make all that happen.
Okay.
So we're not passing that on to anybody. But that did come through the county commission last night, and of course it did pass.
The stuff y'all have to deal with just cracks me up. Some of the things that come, the little details, I'm like, really? But that's the reason why when we get our audits, there's no question.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it's all very transparent.
Very
transparent.
It's right here. $36,000 for mailings of plates and miscellaneous things that the people had to pay for that wanted that away.
That's interesting. Okay.
Okay, the next one. Hey, man, the next one we had last night was it was a general fund. They called it through the mayor's office, but I don't, it's just part of it. A lot of stuff's in my office. The tech guy's under me, the lady at the bank, UT experimental station, she's under my salary. Our engineer and all that they're under me too, and we go through that. And then, of course, last night we had this is one of the coolest things we've ever done. The seniors that graduated have had these laptops all through school.
I talked a little bit about that earlier.
Yeah, all through school. We made the resolution last night. These laptops get to go home with them for them the rest of their life. Yep, that's part of graduating.
Some of them beat them up pretty bad.
Yes, some of them ain't very good.
I had one. We take them back up until they graduate. And one of my homeroom kids yesterday, Miss Vivio, I dropped mine because I was putting stickers on him. He goes, well, this is a loaner. I said, well, where's yours? He goes, it broke in half.
Well, I can tell you how many it was. East Robson had 79 seniors. Greenbrier High School had 161. Joe Burns had 69. Springfield High School, 254 seniors.
Wow.
White House Heritage had 122, and Phoenix Academy had 37.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of them. We had a big senior class next to everybody else. I didn't realize some of those were as small as they were.
Yeah.
So I knew that Springfield would have been the largest, and so they were just about not quite 100 students more than what we had that graduated. So
Springfield has a big class.
Yes, they do.
A big class. We had it on the football field. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we had ours on the football field. Yeah. Ours is beautiful. We have a formal, very nice, very organized graduation, and it goes off without a click, man. It goes very well. So.
Okay, I had a resolution last night to authorize the county mayor to execute a renewal of the 911 dispatch fees. I did something years ago that we had two cities that was paying their fees, was Springfield and White House. And they was concerned, the rest of the cities wasn't. And to make it right, we decided when a city calls 911, there is a fee. It's about $36 a call. By the time you pay the dispatchers, the building and equipment and everything. And of course, if they didn't pay this fee, each city would have to do their own dispatching, which would be a headache.
Oh, it would be a nightmare.
Yes, it would be.
People would get hurt because, there would be people, because I don't see the efficiency being there.
Right. Well,
at all.
We had the county attorney draw up an agreement that all cities would pay their share of the fees.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how expensive it is. It's around $2 million.
Yeah.
The Robson County's total, just the county, is $875,000. Now, if the county was to pay all the fees across the county, even the cities, if you're talking about, I'd have to tax taxpayers another $1.2 million. So like, Adams Fire, theirs is $9,000. Cross Plains is $37,000 for fees. It goes on down, Springfield, $462,000. But that counts police department, fire department, and the gas department, because some people call in if they smell gas. You'd be surprised at all the calls.
Yeah.
When I got to go to 911 meeting at 9:00, and they've got it broke down every month, how many calls and what they were for, dog bites or whatever. If you call up there, they got it down. And this is a formula that was done by MTAS, which represents the cities, and the county, CTASC. So it's very fair. It even got the percentage of the calls that come in. 18% for Adams of all the calls come in. In Robson County, we're pretty well down to just the sheriff's department. 36.7% of the calls goes to the sheriff's department that comes in to 911 every month. All this, folks, is kept on paper. It's just good to know, and it takes money to run that system up there.
Very good.
Yeah.
Talking with Mayor Billy Vogle, County Mayor. If you're new to our lovely county, that's who this gentleman is. So talking about the county commissioners meeting last night and all that went on. So continue on, sir.
We had another amendment resolution come from General Sessions Court, the state authorizing 1 cent or something out of the fees to go to the judge's court, which wasn't but $1,950. That came through last night. And then, of course, the drug court fund. We've talked about that.
Recovery court.
Recovery court. We had to do resolutions on those folks quite a bit. And anyway, last night we had what come out of Chancery Court was they had a sale for surplus property. So we had to give them permission to put their surplus stuff up. That most of it's wore out, folks. It's computers and just a lot of stuff that's done lived its life. And so it's going up for surplus. And we had a resolution last night that come up that I'm really proud of. I'm not proud of what it is. Let's get back in the opioid deal a little bit. The mayor gets a certain amount of the opioid money from the state to use at his discretion. And then the rest of it goes to drug court because it's got a template that you have to meet, and they do a great job, the two girls that's over that.
Alfie and Megan.
Yeah, they do a great job.
They've got a great team, they'll tell you, too. And we have a meeting tonight, as a matter of fact.
Well, I check on them, and they come to my office and report because we don't want something going wrong about maybe we didn't know something or maybe we spent money the wrong way. So they do a great job. But last night I gave some of the mayor's money. I give $25,000 of that money, which just comes from the lawsuit, folks. The opioid lawsuit, to Mid-Cumberland. Mid-Cumberland is building a 73-room rehab in another county, and all the counties are putting money together to make this happen. The sheriff has informed me and some of the judges that when people do go to rehab, they need to be out of county.
Really?
Yes, because...
What county are they building it in?
It's going to be in Dixon.
Okay.
Okay, now, it's because of... It just happens.
Well, it gets you. That is the thing. I mean, you need to not be close to the people who could drag you back in.
That's right.
And that's the issue.
That is the issue.
Yeah, because that's what happens a lot of times.
Well, you don't know. Sometimes some family members could be slipping something in.
Yeah. And Judge Perry will talk to you. I mean, in that video that I told, the evolution of drugs, the things that we talk about in that documentary, Judge Perry talks about having people come before his court that are generational, that they started using with parents, and it's just, and it can be so connected to family that I can understand why they would recommend out of county. Now, here in the county, we're doing a ton of stuff, and we also have an IOP, an intense outpatient therapy.
That's where the template money went.
That's right.
The IOP, they have got a rehab house where folks are. Once they get out of rehab or something, they still need to be monitored.
And they need some place to come and just stay grounded.
But they meet with counselors there in Springfield now. it's a program that we was one of the few counties that didn't even have one, but now we do.
We needed it.
We do, and that was we got like $800,000 out of the settlement, but it had to go just for something like to deal with drug.
And I'll just kind of plug this too. We've got a Recovery Fest coming up on August 24th, and that is going to be midday. It's going to be a few hours out at the fairgrounds where you're going to have an opportunity to come together and see all the things that you have to help in recovery. So if you've got somebody that's needing some help in recovery, you're going to have an opportunity. Well, and just reach out to them, Althea, Megan, any of them over at Recovery Court, and they can point you in the right direction. And the red line. The red line is a number you can reach out to. Yeah. I'll find that number.
On a sad note, I took $50,000 of that money and put it in the account for the autopsies.
Man, you talk about that in in this Evolution of Drugs documentary. That's the one thing you talk to the kids about is 75% of the autopsies you have to sign off on are from drug overdoses.
They're drug overdoses, and we budget about $200,000 a year on autopsies.
You talk about that,
and this is coming from the taxpayers. So I took $50,000 of that money to put in that account to try to help the taxpayers on this. It's just sad. Each county got money based on the cost of their problem. So that's how it was. And then I got a letter last week from the Opioid Commission that some of the folks that got sued or had to pay are filing bankruptcy now. So this money may end one day. I mean, it's just a time. It's like everything. It will finally end and run its course.
Let me give this number out. If you know somebody that's needing help with any kind of addiction or mental health issues, 1-800-889-9789. That's 800-889-9789, and that is the Tennessee Red Line. You can call or text that, and that will help get you to resources to help you with substance abuse, mental health issues, because there is a mental health court as well that we have here in Robertson County. Now, the things that are being done within our court systems to help these folks get another chance and not just put them in jail is breathtaking, and it's wonderful, and it's Jesus, and it's what we should be doing. But anyway, that's
okay. We had a resolution on changing the speed limit on Brown Road. If you have a problem with speeding on a county road, you need to contact your road commissioner. They're elected by the people. They will bring it up in front of the board and look at it. I think this road was dropped down to 40 miles an hour. They tell me if it's not a speed sign up, that means you can go 55. So, and we got a problem, folks. I want everybody to be aware of. We having to hire one person full time at the county highway department to replace stop signs and speed signs.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, constantly he stays busy every day. People taking signs down, tearing them up, or I mean, some of it may be farm equipment that hits them or whatever. But it's a problem. But you sure don't want to be taking down those stop signs. That's very dangerous. So that passed last night, and here's a pretty cool one too. We had the school board came to us for wanting $15 million for school improvements. Earlier, I told you where the school board was taking $5.5 million out of their fund balance to do the academy. This money here is going to remodel West Side. We took a tour of that school. The bathroom conditions are, I mean, it's just terrible. The original bathrooms in that school, I bet that school's 30 years old at least. Probably, at least.
Oh, yeah, maybe, probably more.
Yeah, the cafeteria was not just nowhere. I mean, we're going to redo the cafeteria, all the bathrooms, and also we're putting a wing on that school.
Okay.
To help out with the growth problem in Springfield with more classrooms. Part of the $15 million is going toward Phoenix Academy, which is out there at the school board. They need more room out there. And what that was a warehouse that was converted into school, and it needs some improvements too. We walked through there. We just didn't take the school boards, say, hey, we need to do this. The commissioners on the education committee took time to walk through these projects and look at them. And then there's one school, I'm thinking it might be Bransford. I'm not sure about this, but we got to redo the HVAC system.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it is Bransford. And when you start putting air conditions in a bunch of classrooms, it is very expensive too. So that $15 million, the county commission voted last night to give it to the school board. And here's the thing about it. we are not doing a bond. We won't have to raise taxes. This $15 million is coming out of our fund balance. And before I talked to anybody about us, the county commission doing this, we had our bond man come to us. He said we're one of the very few counties that's able to do this. Mm-hmm. We're going to save $6 million over the $15 million if we'd done a bond just on interest alone. So this shows you that we're working hard to try to save the taxpayers' money.
Yeah. Quit hitting that microphone. You're like,
huh?
You're rattling everything.
Am I rattling?
Microphone. I was like, I was waiting for you to stop talking. Okay, don't hit the mic, but I'm with you, brother. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Well, we're getting down to it. This was pretty important too. I told you earlier about the cost of ambulances and stuff. We found out that we was part of the cheapest people around Middle Tennessee when it come to our rates on our ambulances. Mm-hmm. And because of the cost of things, we put our rates up, not up with everybody, but still we got competitive. When you call an ambulance, that rate is based on whatever's in that ambulance that has to be done. You know, if your blood pressure's high and they don't have to maybe put some stuff on, well, I'm talking Greek here, but it's that's what it's all based on. And we had to change our rates a little bit to help meet the cost of these what we're spending. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to look at a new ambulance again this year. We need one up toward White House and Cross Plains.
They're so expensive. I mean, how much did you tell me the cost?
One ambulance to stock it with all the medicine, with all the defibrillators you need and everything, and the manpower, $750,000.
And that's buying the ambulance and everything.
Yes.
That's the whole package.
That's the whole package.
That's wild. Yeah. And we just can't. We're just growing leaps and bounds, y'all.
Yeah.
Let me do my last break and you kind of gather your thoughts because we're going to have just a few minutes to wrap this up. We need to pause and talk about our Veterans Motorplex. It's going to be a great day for the races, y'all, or a great weekend for the races as we're coming up. We want to invite you to come out to Veterans Motorplex. They had a little bit of a slow start. We talk a lot about that. The racing season is March to October. I will not be surprised at all if we don't extend it on into November a little bit because we got us a late start because they were making renovations out there. It's like Mayor was talking about, the rain just pushed them back. And so they are absolutely, getting it done and dealing with their with all of the improvements that they've done out there, and it has just been awesome. So if you are interested in doing something different, you've never been to the races, I can't recommend it enough. It is so much fun. It's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. This is the old Highland Rim Speedway. If you want to follow them and stay up to date on anything that's going on, because when it rains, they sometimes have to cancel, or maybe they'll have a rain delay. You can find all that out by going to Highland Rim Speedway, following them there, and that'll keep you up to date. But March through October is racing season here in Robertson County, and we want you to come and be a part of it. It is a blast. $40 can get a family of 8 in, up to 6 kids and 2 adults for a $40 ticket price. No alcohol served or permitted on premises. It's a family-friendly environment. You will come out and you'll have a great time. Great concession stand, very reasonably priced. A lot of the locals work there. It is a great time. It is a local favorite. It's Veterans Motorplex. Follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. When you talk to them, please let them know that U-Turn sent you. Mayor Vogle, it's all you. Let's wrap this thing up.
We're about to wrap up here. I had one more resolution last night. The Budget Committee gave $20,000 to hire a consultant to perform a feasibility study for a new justice center. We're getting 2 new judges. One has not been announced and one has been. And we're tied in with Montgomery County using judges. Personally, I wished we wasn't because they stay down in Montgomery County quite a bit. But when they come here, they got to have a courtroom. And they have more business down there, but we are growing too. We've got a lot of people involved. The attorneys have a representative. The judges have a representative. The sheriff's involved. The circuit court clerk's involved. Of course, the budget committee. And we're probably going to have a hard time finding a location for this building that will suit everybody because of their time and if you do a building, they're talking about putting 4, maybe 5 courtrooms under one roof. Right now, circuit court clerk is having to work out of 2 buildings and have to put her staff under one roof. Hopefully, it would save money, but I've about learned anytime you build something new, you got to hire more people for some reason. We found that out with the new jail. But we're going to take $20,000 to try to get everybody. I tell people we got needs and we got wants. I want this feasibility study to do needs, and we'll worry about the wants later. Everybody's got wants. So it's part of us growing, and it's growing pains, and it is painful to have to do this. We talk about doing money for schools and stuff, but we still have to spend money on courtrooms. And I'd rather build a school anytime than build a courtroom. But this is the life we live today.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
what it's all about. It's not fair for children's services to tell a child that we can't do a trial for you for 30 days. It's not fair for lawyers telling people that need to go to court that I can't get you in there for 3 months, 4 months, whatever it takes. So we are growing, and we're going to have to do a study. This probably won't happen in my term because of the money we're spending, but it's going to happen somewhere down the road.
Very
So,
good.
hey, it's 8 o'clock. And at that, I'm going to tell everybody if you got Haiti, that's it. Well,
You get it
really,
done?
there's kind of some more, but you can't do a 2-hour meeting on our radio show.
But nothing important, nothing crucial.
Well, right now,
we
if
can
you
give
got,
you an extra
if you
minute
got
if
the
you
bike
need
to
it.
set and crops to plant and hay to get up, you better be getting busy today.
Okay, because we got rain coming in.
Yeah.
Mayor said so. Y'all get busy. And thank you guys for joining us. Remember now, tomorrow we'll have a visit with Ryan Martin from the Mayor and Alderman's meeting. He's city manager for Springfield. So we'll hear what he has to say. Thank you, Mayor. His office is always open. When are you making the move? Do you know?
I'll be going over veterans to the plaza. Of course, they named it.
When?
They tell me it could be around the end of July.
Okay, that's one thing I
Sometime
meant
in
to ask
July.
you, and I forgot to
Yeah.
ask you. So we're
They
expecting
named
that.
it last
Okay.
night, the Robs County Plaza.
Okay, well, there you go. So mayor's office is going to be moving from the courthouse, but his door is always open. That was the point I was going to make. Even though you're moving, your door is always open. He's a good guy. Be nice to this man. He's a big friend of the program. Thank you for being with us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.